Yemen's president, Abed Mansour Hadi, had just come from a successful fundraising meeting in New York a day earlier. Now he explained to a broader American audience that the stakes in Yemen are high.
The stability and security of Yemen is not for Yemen's sake or interest, but rather it is an international necessity also. And equally, any deterioration in the situation in Yemen will have an extreme negative repercussions on the area and the region and to the global arena.
Under last year's peace plan, backed by the Gulf Cooperation Council, Yemen's former strongman, Ali Saleh, agreed to give up the power he had held for 3 decades. But his successor, President Hadi, said very serious challenges remain.
We're still in need of the political and economic assistance that will help us a lot in implementing all the other segments of the Gulf Initiative, and this is what the Yemeni people are looking for. We got tired of conflicts and wars.
America and Saudi Arabia have been providing Yemen's new government with strong military support to fight the ongoing threat from al-Qaeda. Yemen says it now desperately needs economic support.
75% of Yemen's problems are economic in nature, and what he's seeking when asked directly is really economic support and economic cooperation. He wasn't focused on the security front as much, but really looking at this additional economic support as being necessary to confront issues related to humanitarian concerns, to infrastructure that was ruined during conflict, to rooting out the fundamental underlying factors for extremism and for terrorism.
Analysts say the more than $6 billion in economic aid pledged at a meeting in Riyadh a month ago and further help pledged at yesterday's gathering in New York shows the international community feels the stakes are high for Yemen.
It was interesting because President Hadi mentioned several times the example of Somalia and not wanting to slip into the kind of chaos that Somalia has witnessed. And I think it's a real testament, quite honestly, that Yemen hasn't. Often the question is, what's going to tip Yemen over the balance, or we're so close to the brink of collapse. And yet really the question is, what prevents Yemen from collapsing? What is it that actually keeps Yemen together? And I think this desire to avoid civil war, of seeing the example of Somalia and seeing the example of Afghanistan and seeing the devastation that this has wrought, that it actually has pulled people back from the brink of civil war. And I think that's actually keeping it a little bit contained. And clearly the majority of Yemenis do not want to see that happen.
In answer to an audience question, President Hadi said although al-Qaeda remains a serious threat, attacks against it by American drones and the Yemeni army have seriously weakened the group. President Hadi said that without strong international support, Yemen could end up a failed state like Somalia. But what kind of support? The president said that while American drone strikes against al-Qaeda targets are crucial, equally important is strong and continuing economic support from America, Saudi Arabia, and the other Gulf states to give Yemenis an alternative to al-Qaeda's message. Burton Bolag, KSA2, Washington.